Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
broadcast is live.
Yes. So hello and welcome everyone to this session on augmented reality from Mozilla Club BBSR, which you guys can watch from the comfort of your home. Cause learning never stops. Today we have with us Mr. Parth Anand, who is the founder of everythingxr.com. Sir is one of the evangelists of XR in India, and some of his projects I guess you all might have seen the AR watch and the AR car are just outstanding, and I'm sure after this session you all will be in love with augmented reality. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so has everybody joined it? How many people are there in the chat, in the room right now? Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So I hope you're all safe and fine. And thank you, Vedant, for the amazing introduction. My name is Parth, and I'm the founder of Everything XR. We create augmented reality apps for various startups and companies across the world. And I also teach various courses related to augmented reality on LinkedIn Learning and Udemy. And I post some augmented reality tutorials on my YouTube channel as well. So you can check that out as well. And in this webinar, we are going to create a very simple, a very basic augmented reality app from scratch. So we'll do some theory first, and then we'll get to the augmented reality app. So let's get started. I'll share my screen now, and we can start with the session. Just give me a minute. I'm just setting it up. Guys, if you can see my screen, just write yes in the comments. Can you see my screen? Just write yes in the comments, and then I'll start. Okay, awesome. So what is augmented reality? You might have seen, you might have played Pokemon Go, in which virtual Pokemon characters show up in front of you and you have to catch them. Or you might have seen or tried these Snapchat face filters at least once, right? And you might have seen apps in which you can place virtual furniture in your environment. So all these are examples of augmented reality. So if we have to define augmented reality, then we can say it's a computer generated or virtual content overlaid on a real world environment. So it's basically kind of augmenting or enhancing your reality. Now, some people confuse virtual reality with augmented reality. Remember that these two are very, very different technologies. As in AR, you overlay virtual objects in the real world environment, as I just showed you in the previous slide. In virtual reality, the user straps a VR headset and gets transported to an entirely different world, which is a virtual world. So, right now in this video, this lady is wearing a virtual headset and she's in an entirely different virtual world and she can draw whatever she wants, and there's no real environment here. It's all virtual. So, now the question is, what is required to create an AR app? So we need a game engine using which we basically create the whole app. That is, we create the app UI, animations, we add virtual 3D models, change the appearance of models, and so on. And we are going to use Unity 3D for our game engine. The second thing we need is our AR framework. An AR framework basically has the computer vision algorithms already implemented for us so that our app can make sense of the environment around us so that we can place virtual objects in it. There are a lot of AR frameworks out there that you might have heard of. One of them is Vuforia, the other one is Wikitude, one is AR Foundation. In this session, we are going to use Vuforia framework. So that's all about the theory. And now let's create the AR app. The AR app that we are going to create is an image tracking augmented reality app, in which the app recognizes an image and overlays virtual content on top of that. So in this, I have overlaid the planet Mars when the image is detected and also added some spin to it so that it rotates. So I think like this looks pretty cool. So let's see how to create this. And one more thing, now while creating this app, I would suggest that you just watch and understand and don't actually do it along with me, because it will be hard for you to open the webinar window and the software simultaneously. So I'll send you the recorded lecture after this live session is over so you can watch it again and follow along. And I sent this installation guide yesterday on your registered emails. So I hope you have installed Unity and done the other required things that are mentioned in this PDF. If for some reason you did not get this, you can just watch and understand right now and do this after the webinar is over. Now let's create the augmented reality app. Let's get started with it. So I just want to make sure that you can see everything clearly on the screen, because now we are going to the main stuff. So just type yes again. Just type in yes if you are able to see my screen clearly and read everything on it. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So first of all, you have to open Unity Hub. And by the way, everything is same for Windows as well as Mac. I'm using Mac, but you can do the same thing in Windows as well. First of all, we'll create a new project from here. And I guess you have downloaded 2019.3.15. So we'll choose that. And we'll create a 3D project. And the project name will be anything you want. So I'll just name this AR planets. Create. This will take a few seconds to create the project. Okay, so the project is created. Right now on the bottom right corner, you can see it's written auto generate lightning is off. We have to turn this on first before starting with the development. So go to window and go to rendering, lightning settings, and just check this auto generate. And now it's fine. Um, so right now the layout is this. This is a 2x3 layout. And if by chance, if you see anything different from this, you can just go to window and go to layouts and choose 2x3 layout. If 2x3 layout is not available, just revert factory settings and you can go to window again, layouts, and select 2x3 layout. So if you're new to Unity and augmented reality in general, this might look somewhat alien to you and a little bit complex as well. But don't worry, I'll explain this interface. So let me open my presentation. Yeah. So we have these different windows. One is the scene window, one is hierarchy window, then we have game window, then there's project window and inspector window. So let's start with project window. The project window has all the files that are available to use in your project or app. So basically everything that goes inside your app has to be imported into the project window. It can be anything like app icons, images, videos, 3D models, textures, and so on. So basically everything that is in your app has to go inside the project folder, the project window. The next one is the scene window, which allows you to visually edit and navigate your scene. So whatever we want to add, such as if we want to add a 3D model, just like the Mars 3D model that you saw in the starting, it's added here in the scene window. And we can visually edit that model inside our scene window. The next one is the hierarchy window, which has the text representation of every game object in the scene. So these two windows are kind of almost similar, as in this has the visual representation of the objects, and hierarchy window has the text representation of the objects. So here you can see an icon which shows the light, and this is directional light in the hierarchy window. So directional light and this icon are exactly the same thing. Similarly, for the camera, we have this main camera right here as the icon in the scene window, and it's the main camera, the text representation of main camera in the hierarchy window. And now the next one is the inspector window. Inspector window allows you to view and edit all the properties of the currently selected game object. So these two right here in the hierarchy window and the scene window are known as game objects. So all these different objects such as the main camera, the directional light, and everything else that we'll add in here are known as game objects. So when we click on a particular game object, we will see all the properties of that particular game object in the inspector window so that we can edit that according to our needs. And the last one is the game window. The game window simulates what your final rendered app screen will look like through your scene cameras. So basically, the game window shows whatever is rendered on your phone screen when the app is running on your device. And don't worry too much about this right now. We are going to use this. We are going to use this in some other session, not in this session. Okay, so that's about the interface. So we discussed that we need two things to create an AR app. We already have Unity. Now let's get the Vuforia framework, which is the AR framework that we need. So to get that, we have to go to Window, and we have to go to the package manager, which has all the necessary packages. This will take some time to load. Okay. So if you scroll down, you will see this Vuforia Engine AR. Click on this, and we have to install this. This will take a couple of seconds. Okay, so it's done. Close the window. So first of all, we need an AR camera, an augmented reality camera. So inside the hierarchy, right click and go to Vuforia Engine and create an AR camera. Right now, if you see inside the hierarchy windows, we have two cameras. One is the main camera, one is the AR camera. We don't need two cameras, we just need the AR camera. So just delete the main camera by right clicking on it and delete. Now go to the AR camera, and we have to do some settings. We have to add some license. So click on the AR camera, and in the inspector window, you can see open Vuforia engine configuration at the bottom right here. So open that, and here we have to plug in the app license key. So to do that, we have to go to developer.vuforia portal and click on add license to go there. Okay, so we are here. First you have to register, and then you can just log in. So I already have an account with Vuforia, so I can just log in. And I will just add my email ID and password. Okay, so we are here. To get the license key, click on Get Development Key. And we have to give a name to our license. I'll just name this AR Planets license. And confirm. Click on the license key that we just created. This is the license key that we want. So if you just click on it once, it will be copied to the clipboard. Then you can just go to your Unity editor and paste the license key right here, like this. Okay, so the license and Vuforia is set up. Now, as you can see in the video, we need two things in our scene. One is the image target, which is this one, this square image target. And the other thing that we need is this augmented reality 3D model, which is the Mars model. So let's get this inside Unity scene. So to get the image target, right click in the hierarchy and go to Vuforia engine and click on image. Click on import. This will import all the packages, and this will instantiate the image target in the hierarchy. So inside the scene view, if you scroll using your mouse, you will be able to zoom in, and you will see the default image target provided by Vuforia. We can use this, but we won't use this. We will create our own image target. So just zoom out. Let's create our own image target. For that, we have to go to developer.vuforia. First of all, let me tell you about image targets. We want to choose an image target which is very textured, which has a lot of features, like this first one. These rocks have a lot of features, and it's a very complex and textured image target. So this kind of image target is best for tracking because the computer vision algorithms are able to see clearly that there's something present here. So this one is the best. The next one is this one, which has target written over it. This has less number of feature points and is less textured as compared to the first target. So this one is not that good. We won't prefer this. We can use this, but it won't give us very good results because the model will start to shake as soon as we recognize this target. And the last one and the third one is not usable at all because this has no texture and no feature points. So we won't use this. So let's get this, the first one. Okay, so go to Google and search for rocks. By the way, you can create your own image target as well. You don't have to use what I'm using. It should just be very textured and very complex. I hope you get the idea. So you can choose any image from here. These all are very textured. I'll choose this one. So I'll just right click and save image as rocks target. Save. Now go to Vuforia developer portal that we have opened and click on Target Manager. Here we have to create a database of images that we want as targets, as image targets. So click on Add Database and type the database name. I'll just type in AR planets. Type device and create. So click on this database. Here we can upload our image targets. So click on Add Target. We need a single image target because that's what we want to recognize. Choose the file from here and choose your image target. Give it a width. 5 is fine, it's idle. This is the width that the image target takes inside the Unity scene. And give it a name and then click on Add. This will take a couple of seconds to upload and then it will give a rating to this image target. So this image target is excellent because this has a 5-star rating. Let's see why this is actually excellent. So click on this target. And if you scroll down, you will see an option, Show Features. So if you click on Show Features, you will see it has a lot of feature points, a lot of unique points, which are denoted by these yellow pointers. So this is an excellent image target. Okay, so let's go back. And if we add some other target, the one we saw, which is not as good as this one, give it a width. and click on add. Will take a couple of seconds and we'll give it a rating. So it's processing right now. It does not have 0 rating. It's processing right now. So if I just refresh this, so it's a 3-star rating, which is not obviously as good as a 5-star rating. Let's see why it is a 3-star rating. So if you go down and show features, you will see it has very few features as compared to the previous image target. So it's just fine. It's not as good as the previous one. Okay. So now that we have our image targets, we have to download the database, the image database, and import the database into our Unity project. We want it for Unity editor, download. So once this is downloaded, open your project and go to the assets folder. So as I said earlier, everything that has to be there in the app goes inside the project folder. So we'll import this database inside our project folder. So we downloaded our database right here, arplanets.unity package. This is our image database. We'll drag this and drop this into the assets folder in the project window. Click on import and it's imported. Now, as I told you, this one is the default image target, but we don't want that. We want our rocks image target. So click on the image target and choose the database. This is the default database, Vuforia Mars image. We don't want this. We want the AR planets. And since we had 2 image targets, one which was not very good and the other one, the rocks one, so it's showing this one right now. We can change this to the rocks image target. So go to inspector window and choose rocks target. This one, perfect. Okay, so now that we have our image target, we want to add the 3D model of the Mars. It's very simple to create 3D model of any planet. The concept behind this is very simple. We will create a simple sphere object inside Unity, and then we'll add an image texture. We'll wrap this image texture, which is also known as a texture map, on this sphere. And we will get this 3D model of Mars. So let's do this. It's very straightforward. First, let's create a sphere object. So go to hierarchy and right click 3D object and create a sphere. We are going to change its position. We are going to pull this above the image target. You can also do the same thing from the inspector window. As I told you, we can change the properties of any object from inspector window. So you can do this in the scene window as well as the inspector window. Make sure this object is selected. So I can change the Y component of position and this will go up. We can change the scale to 7. This is the perfect scale. Just scroll, zoom out. Let's drag this up a little bit. And this looks perfect. Now we have the sphere. We want our image texture, the Mars texture. Now there's an amazing website where you can get textures for each planet. Let's see what that is. So it's known as solar system scope. This has high definition image textures for each planet. So go to explore and click on textures. It's taking some time. My internet is a little bit slow, I guess. Okay, so if you scroll down, you can see HD textures for each of the planets. We have Mercury, we have Venus, we have Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, Neptune, Earth. We have the Sun, Moon, and the stars as well. We have fictional planets as well. So we have a lot of choices. I will download the Mars texture. Red is my favorite color. So download. Right click and save the image as Mars texture. Now let's import that Mars texture that we downloaded into the project folder. Import this into the project folder. Okay, so we cannot directly apply this texture on this object. We have to create something known as a material. So we have this texture. We'll use this texture to create a material, and we'll apply that material on this object. So to create the material, go to the project window and right click, create material. And let's name this Mars material. Now go to shader in the inspector window and choose legacy shaders and diffuse. Drag this texture that we downloaded right here. And now we have the material ready. Now just drag this material on this object. You can do this inside the scene window or in the hierarchy window because both are almost same. It looks amazing. Okay. So right now it's static. Let's give it some spin, some rotation. So how do we do that? Well, we are going to create a simple script and write one line of code to rotate this object, to spin this object along y-axis. So if you click on the sphere object, we have this transform property in the inspector window. And we have the rotation component. So we want to rotate this, spin this along the y-axis. So if I change the value of this y-axis, these are in degrees, by the way. So if I change this value, this will spin. But I'm doing this manually right now. We need to do this using code. Let me set this to 0. So first we'll create a script. Make sure your object is selected and go to inspector window and click on add component. Then just type in rotate script or any name that you want to give to this script and press enter. Enter again. This will create your script. Wait for it to load the script. Will take a few seconds. And here we have our script in the inspector window. Double click on this script and this will open in Visual Studio Code Editor. Okay, so here's our script. And we have two functions inside this script. We have the start function and we have the update function. So the start function is called just once, and it is called when the scene starts. So as soon as the scene starts in our app, the start function is called and the code inside it is executed. The update function is very different. It's called again and again and again. It's continuously called throughout the application, throughout when your scene is running. So the speed at which it is called is once per frame, which is basically 60 times in 1 second. So it's called very fast and it's called again and again. We want to add the code to rotate our object inside the update function because we want to rotate this by 1.5 degrees in each frame. So let's do that. To access the rotation component, we have to first access the transform component. So we'll type in transform dot rotate, and this is going to take a vector 3. And the vector 3 takes in 3 components, 3 values, x, y, and z axis. So we have to rotate this object along the y axis. So x and z component will be 0, and we are only going to change and iterate over the y component. So x is 0, comma, y is 1.5. So it means it will rotate by 1.5 degrees in each iteration. So this will be very fast when it runs. I'll show you. And this is 1.5 f, f for floating point value. Then 0 for z-axis. Now, after you have done that, save this script. It's very important to save the script. Press Command S or Control S if you are in Windows. Then close the script. Now, if you click on this play button at the top, you will see Mars spinning on its own axis along the y-axis. It looks pretty cool. You can change the speed of this rotation as well if you rotate it by a higher degree value. So if I change this to suppose 3 or 4 and save the script and click on the play button, this will rotate even faster. And you can basically go crazy with these values. Okay, so right now our object is not attached to the image target. So let's do that. We have to drag the sphere object on the image target as a child of the image target. So now the image target, the sphere is attached to the image target. So right now everything is done, and you can simply, if you have a webcam, you can run this application right now inside your Unity editor. So if you click on play button, your webcam will start and it will show inside, the video feed will show inside the game window. And if you just print this marker and put it in front of the webcam, this virtual 3D model of the Mars will be overlaid on top of that. So you can test this right now here inside the Unity editor. You don't have to deploy this on the Android and iOS devices. But my webcam is not really working right now, so I will just deploy it and I'll show you how to deploy this to your Android and iOS devices. So first, let's go to File and Build Settings. Add Open Scenes. Click on iOS if you want to deploy to iOS. Then click on Switch Platform. Right now, the platform is PC, Mac, and Linux. We want to deploy on iOS. This will take a few seconds depending upon your computer's speed. I hope everything is clear. This video will be available after the webinar is over, so you can watch it again and then follow along with that. It takes some time. Okay, so it has switched the platforms. Now go to player settings and scroll. We have to do a few settings here. First of all, add the camera usage description. This is the camera permission which pops up when you first start the app. So we want the camera for AR. So just write the reason why you want the camera. This will be displayed to the user who is using your app. So we need to tell him that we are using your camera for augmented reality. Then we have to change the architecture from universal to ARM64. That's all for iOS. Just close this and build. Choose where you want to store your build. I want to store this at desktop. Name this. I'll name it AR iOS app and click on save. This is going to create an Xcode build. And we run that Xcode build inside our Xcode application, which is used to deploy the app on our iOS device. So this is going to create an Xcode build. This will take some time as well. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so the build is created successfully. Open this build and click on this icon right here. This will open your project in Xcode. Now, what you have to do is you have to connect your iPhone or your iPad wherever you are running your app. Just connect your device to your laptop, to your Mac, and then just select your device from here. Go to Unity iPhone, click on signing and capabilities. And in the video which I uploaded on YouTube, which I sent you via mail, I have told you to set up your account, your team. So if you have done that, you can choose your team from here. I will choose mine. And then you just click on run. And if your iOS device is connected to your laptop, your Mac, this will run your app directly on your device. And you can just test it. So this is for iOS. Now let's do it for Android. Okay. So for Android, again, you have to go to File and Build Settings. Oops. Yeah. Then click on Android and click on Switch Platform. Okay. So go to Player Settings, and you don't have to really change anything right here. Yeah, all this is fine. So you can just now you can just connect your device, your Android device, to your laptop and click on Build and Run. Choose where you want to store the APK file and save as. Give it a name. This will be your APK's name. So AR Android app or anything you want. Then click on Save. This will run the app on your Android device. And make sure your Android device is unlocked during the process. Okay, so that's basically it about the webinar. And I hope you were able to understand it. And you will get a recorded video of this webinar as well. So you can watch it later if you have missed anything. So now I have a task for you. It's a very interesting task. After this webinar, you have to create a similar app but with a different planet. So I created it with Mars. You can choose a different one and then record a video of your app and share it on LinkedIn and tag me in your post. And when I see it, I will share your post with my network. So it will be pretty interesting. And also, if you're interested in learning more about augmented reality, I'm organizing a 5-day paid workshop very soon. So if you're interested, you can just message me on LinkedIn. Now, if you all have any questions, I'll just open the chat and you can ask me in the chat. So you can start typing your questions. Just let me know if you have any questions. You can write it in the chat. You guys can connect with me on LinkedIn and ask your questions there as well. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Okay, so how can we implement AR in Flutter? So I don't have much experience with Flutter, but there's a YouTube channel called MTech Viral. It's MTECHVIRAL, and it has a video which shows how to create augmented reality app in Flutter. So you can check that out. I have never used Flutter, so I don't know about that. Okay, so the next question is how to get the correct image target. You can actually create your own image target in Photoshop or in any software that you want. Just make sure it's very, very, very textured and it's very complex so that it has a lot of feature points. And you can obviously check that image target if it's fine or not. You can just upload it on Vuforia developer portal and you can see the star rating. If it's 5 stars, it's perfect. I hope that answers your question. So you basically have to create your own image target. Scope of AR in future. Okay, so AR is going to be really big in the future. As you can see, all the major companies like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, each and every big company is working on augmented reality, and all they all have their own platforms. So it's surely going to be very big in the future. And you might have heard of AR glasses as well. And you should definitely check out John Prosser's channel on YouTube. He has revealed almost everything about AR glasses. So he's a professional. He's a journalist, and he leaks stuff about Apple. So he has leaked like everything about augmented reality glasses, which Apple is making. So, how to get started with web AR? I would suggest you check AR Quick Look if you are using iOS device. So AR Quick Look is Apple's implementation of web AR. And if you're using Android device, you can search for augmented reality on Chrome, on Chromium. Web AR is basically in very early stages right now. So that will take time. So the next question is, does it work on a particular picture only? No, no, no. As I said, you can create your own image targets. You just have to, let me explain this again. You have to create your own image target, or you can just Google it as well. You just need a very textured image, a very textured and a very complex image like the first one. So either write a lot of text there, add some images, just make it in Photoshop or any other screen sharing, photo editing software. So you can choose any image target that you want. It should be very textured and very complex. Okay, so the next question is, how do we get that image target? Like in the starting, the user was picking up the target and placing it according to himself. How to do that? So you can just take a printout of the image target that you will create or which you will download from Google, like I did. You can just take a printout of that image target, and you can just then move it wherever you want and scan it with your mobile phone or your Unity editor where your web camera is looking at the image target. So you just have to take the printout. No, it's not necessary for the image target to be high definition. It can be like 1080. That's fine. Like, it should not be very low resolution, but we don't need a very high resolution image target as well. So it can be a medium resolution kind of thing. Thank you for the awesome session. Thank you. Thank you for watching the session. Okay. So I think there are no more questions. Guys, if you have any questions, you can just contact me on LinkedIn and I'll try to answer your questions. So I'll just close this session now.